Welcome back. You're now watching the political segment on The Weekend Show. It's been about 4 months into the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has appointed a cabinet, and every day we get appointments and new appointments into boards and agencies to help manage his policy for the nation. However, inflation is still on a rise. Fuel prices have gone higher. We've also heard rumors about the prices to go higher, even a whole lot more. There's still a shortage of FX, which the fault marketers need in order to bring fuel into the country. We also had the launch of the Dangote refinery. When is this kicking up? At what point do the poor actually breathe, in the words of the president? At what point does the economic situation actually get better for us in Nigeria? We'll be analyzing the administration and the state of the nation as it is today, especially around the economy. And joining us to have this conversation, we have
Nwachukwu Chukwukere Chimeze, who is a public administrative expert and socialist. Good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the show. Let's start with your overview of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's performance since he's got into power.
Okay. You see, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is someone I have been following up since 1999, when he was the governor of Lagos State. And most of his policies are for the best interests of the people, but then it might seem to be quite difficult on people at the moment. But at the long run, you will start seeing the long-term changes. You understand? And then it's like let's say everybody who contested this election said they are going to remove subsidy. And also, he also said he's going to remove the subsidy. And people are focused on the subsidy removal. That's why every other thing, we had every other thing catapulted. The prices of things in the market, the hardship people are suffering and all that. So, but then I think what I'm not really what I'm not really happy about is the way and redistribution of the palliatives. You understand? Because I think there should be palliative to cushion the effect on the citizens. Because if the subsidy, as the subsidy is removed, you can agree with me that the transportation fares are high. So what happens to those so-called Erufai buses? Why are they not flooded in the city? What happened to most of the institution buses that takes people from point A to their point of work? So you see, these are what I'm worried about. So, but if any other thing, I think he's in the right direction.
You spoke about palliative, and why I think it's important to help the people, I worry sometimes, and I may be wrong, I may be speaking from a position of privilege, if we're just getting very used to hand-downs. Now, I would assume ease of doing business would be a better way to improve the economic situation than just handing out, because that's what we did with fuel subsidy and for over 50 years. Now we're saying palliatives. At what point will the government stop and say, okay, we can't give these palliatives anymore? Your business should thrive. What about actually just ensuring that you put in place the right mechanisms to ensure that people can do their business easily and properly, that they're not taxed multiple taxes, that if they put in money in the bank, they can get it when they want. Do you think palliatives are sustainable?
Well, to a certain extent, palliatives are not really sustainable. But then, if you want to look at it on a wider perspective, the past administration President Muhammad Buhari, he gave out a lot of loans, trying to diversify the economy. He gave out loans to agriculture.
Do you know anybody who got those loans personally?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just asking because Nigerians
Yeah.
have asked that question. Do you know people who
No,
got
I
it
don't.
personally?
Yeah, I know. But Nigerians are part of the problem. You see, so most of them collected their loans, no repayment plan. Even some people were paying people to collect the loans. So the only thing is that we need to strengthen these institutions. So government cannot keep doing this, keep doing this, keep doing this, and we are undermining their efforts, the efforts of government. So that's where corruption is just the large factor affecting the whole situation. Government is willing to do all these things, but then what about the citizens? So I have few people who collected the loan. They went somewhere, snapped some pictures of their farm, of someone's farm, to present to collect it, and there was no inspection even. So I think we need to strengthen these institutions in such a way that once this either palliative or either loans or whatever is issued, it has to be followed up, monitored properly, so that so that what it was meant for will be achieved.
Okay, so moving on from palliatives and loans, how
Yeah.
would you personally describe the current economic situation of the country?
Well, I don't need to start painting pictures of the economy. In the past few years now, we've been struggling with the economy. All the indicators are there, ranging from GDP, international trade, unemployment rates, everything. When you look at this, you know that the economy is nothing to write home about. But then I think we're underutilizing our human resources. If, in fact, let me tell you something. If you know the amount of people from here that goes abroad for medicals, that goes abroad for schooling, how much Nigerians are spending over there is tremendous. So I think I will suggest that this administration should look into healthcare and education. You understand? It's something that has to be done so that most Nigerians doesn't just go spending huge amounts of money trying to secure their life, trying to secure quality education, when all those things can be done here.
Talking about most Nigerians, now on this show over time, we've commended the president for appointing a lot of young people
Yeah.
and women. However, there's the concern that most of his juicy positions and the majority of the positions are going to people from the same tribe and same state as the president. So not just even the Southwest, but a lot more to the Southwest and then more from Lagos. Even though we talk about federal character and we have a lot of people being appointed, but that there's a slant. Now, Nigerians complained about the same thing with President Buhari. We're seeing the same trend happen with President Tinubu. Do you think this is a point of concern?
Well, I don't think it's any point of concern for me. As long as I don't like people hypnotizing me or coming to tell me that this person is from here or this person is from there. But as long as you can perform, we are looking for the best brains. As long as you can perform, go there, do the job. Of course, there are certain things to that. People, you can't be my brother and I tell you, sorry, I've forgotten your name. And I say, wait, let's take somebody from elsewhere. But what you should be concerned about, constitutionally, did he appoint according to the Constitution? There are certain privileges he has, and there are constitutional rights. So if he has fulfilled the constitutional rights, so why talk about the privileges that he has to his own self? You understand? And again, if you're looking at, let's say, people who voted for you, if you check the statistics of people, how they voted and all that, you should know that you are going to do some appointment based on how people tried to deliver you regionally.
Well, going by that logic, he didn't
But
get his
no,
highest
no, no.
votes
But
from
I'm not
Lagos.
saying, I'm not saying that it's ethical. I'm not saying that but it's something personal. It's not really something you need to start having issues with.
But I don't believe appointment should be something personal. It should be who can do the job best
Best,
and
exactly.
who will deliver.
Yes. When I mean regional, I'm not saying he's appointing party member. No. The person he's appointing may not even know that there was any work done for him or any mobilization or anything. But he looks at the performance, what the person can give, what the output. You understand? So,
So I do, and personally, I don't care where people are from.
Yeah.
It's just that historically also, we've seen a lot of conflict as a result of exclusion. So from MEND, the militants who complained that if we're producing so much, why aren't we getting as much? We've seen the secessionist movement for Biafra, where they say, look, we feel we're being excluded. And the president had gone on to say, oh, if 97% voted for me and 5% didn't, and whatever. I don't think we should perpetuate it. However, I do believe that we have some great people who have been appointed. But now let's move to something which affects the average Nigerian. Our naira versus dollar. As much as we would say, what do we need dollar for? And a lot of people are just getting it just because it helps them save up for round tripping. It trickles down to the tomato seller, to the pepper seller, and to transportation. Now we have a CBN governor, we have a minister of finance, we have an FRS boss. Do you think that we're in the right track with the economic policy direction of President Tinubu, seeing how on a daily basis the exchange rate keeps on going higher?
Well, I've never seen, in fact, let me not say I've never seen. In the past years, these things keep skyrocketing.
Yeah.
And nobody has done it better. You understand? So it's something that policies, we need people that will work on these policies, especially the CBN, to strengthen Naira. And again, we need to support the local production, because a lot of things we consume most times we don't produce, and what we produce we don't consume. So if we can support the local productions, I think it will help also to salvage this issue.
So how can the government support local productions?
Through SMEs, like the past administration did, but now it has to be monitored, because what people did was to whisk away with cash.
You know, I think that's good, because they've just appointed a very young person. I think his name is Charles Ode, as the head of Smeden. And so hopefully with the fact that we are getting fresh blood in and young people who are in tune with this reality, it could change that cartel.
Yeah,
Which,
possibly.
talk about security.
Okay. Well, you see, it still boils out down to unemployment. People are recruited so easily because there is no job, there is lack of education, especially in the northern parts of this country, and then the governance itself, like you were mentioning, these people, the appointment of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that he appointed a lot of people from the southwest. So people are forming groups, armed groups. We have the IPOB, we have the ESN, we have the unknown gunmen, we have the Boko Haram, we have the militias, we have a lot of armed groups. So, and these armed groups constitute to the insecurity we have. So, if the government can, in such a way, understand these agitations across the country, because what they are doing, most of them are not killing people. Most of them are just kidnappers. They kidnap you and they demand for ransom. Even government is paying for ransom in the past administration. So if we can try to understand this group, try to know what they are agitating for, try to negotiate or try to understand their plight and see how to address the issue, it will help a long way in solving the insecurity in the nation.
I think that's a great place to leave it. Final words, Didi.
Final words. Our economy needs to be better. I don't understand why we should be, getting the exchange rate rather should be $1 to over 1,000 naira. That's a lot. We can't even start talking about pounds to begin with. So something needs to be done. And also, as everyday Nigerians, as we always say on this show, we need to hold ourselves accountable in everything that we do, because we also are part of the society and part of growing the economy one way or the other. We do the buying, the selling, and all of that. So we should hold ourselves accountable, hold our leaders accountable, and just be good citizens in general.
And I think that's great. Like I've said before, I've seen some of the appointments, which I think are brilliant people who I have a lot of faith and hope in. Even the new deputy governors at the CBN and the CBN governor, I know it will take time, but certain balances must be achieved. You can't have government spending so much on people and trips and frivolities, as the case may be or not, when the majority of Nigerians are living in abject poverty. Mm-hmm. Some of these policies, we need to have short-term fixes, mid-term and long-term, where it would fix the immediate needs of the people. When we talk about palliatives, ensure that there's a fair system where it gets to the poorest of the poor, not the one that goes to one village and the village chief keeps the bulk for himself, rebags it and sells back of rice. And then, most importantly, young people, let's talk. We've been asking for a seat at the table. We've been giving the table. A lot of young people are now being appointed. The mantle is being passed on to you. We are now a part of history. We have a role to play in ensuring that we work diligently and that we actually have actual impact. We also need to find a way to stay away from crime and hope that there's ease of business to ensure that more people can have businesses that would work. But to whom much is given, much is required. And so for those people who have been given these appointments, it's up to you not to fail your generation, because if you do that, you are now holding the future of the next generation to ransom. Finally, like we always say, hold your state governors, state assembly members, commissioners, and representatives accountable. We can't always dwell on Abuja and focus on the federal when we have the states and we have people doing what they want. Focus on your states, hold them accountable, and the goal is to have a better Nigeria. That's how much we can take on today's episode of The Weekend Show. You can watch our previous episode and this episode on YouTube at Weekend Show NG. You can also follow us on all social media platforms at Weekend Show NG. You can find out about me on Instagram, X, Threads at Andy Madaki, even though I haven't used them anymore. And you can follow Didi
At Didi_ on Instagram and X.
Do have a blessed weekend. Don't fight, stay peaceful, and see you next week.